the U.S. can print its way out of it, and I say that very theoretical, meaning, well, theoretical in the sense they can eliminate the debt problem, but if they print their way out of it, they're going to create so many other problems.
Uh, well, this is also part of, Powell's dilemma. I disagree with Trump. Trump has always been a borrower, not a lender.
Yeah.
So when you're on that side of the table, you always want the interest rates as cheap as possible. True, right?
Right.
Um, but step back from that, and what you'll see is that when interest rates decline, they do so during recession and depression.
Right.
All right, rates were at 6% in 29. They fell to 1%. Didn't help.
Hmm.
Oh 07, to oh 09, same thing. Um, what it is that ever since, 'cause I did a lot of research, and I wrote a book back in '86 called "The Greatest Bull Market in History," and I had to read all the newspapers, trying to get into the thinking process of, what they are. And I mean, to tell you just a footnote to history, you have to understand what even the word meant at that time.
Hmm.
You have William Penn, who named Philadelphia, um, because in Greek, Philadelphius meant, brotherly love. So he took it in the sense of Christian. Yes, I love my brother. That's not what it meant then. It meant incest. That your brother married your sister, right? Uh, that was the brotherly love. So he didn't understand what it really meant at that time. When I was doing the research on this book, it was very fascinating. Before 29, rates were rising. They virtually doubled between 27 and 29. Stock market kept going up. Why? Um, the interpretation was rising interest rates were bullish because it showed there was still a demand for money.
Hmm.
People were still expanding, etc. When people are not willing to borrow, look at the ECB. They went negative in 2014
Yeah.
and stayed there to 2022. You can't punish somebody for not investing. And this is what I warn these politicians, but it seems to go in one ear and out the other. I said, you'll pay 20% interest if you think the stock market's going to double next year. But if you don't think it's going to go up 1%, you're not going to borrow at one.
Right.
So it's got nothing to do with the empirical level of interest rates. It's the expectation. That's even what inflation is. Inflation is basically the expectation of the future value of the currency.
Hmm.
So, it's, you get these people that think that they're, uh, oh, like Bitcoin with fixed. All right, if you have a fixed currency, the money supply can't increase, but you want your wages to increase and your home to appreciate. It's like, you want Christmas, in July too. I mean,
Right.
there's certain things that just, they all have to go together. You
Yeah.
can't have inflation, um, and basically, uh, or no inflation, and with fixed exchange rates, but you want real estate in your house to go up in value. It's none of the you can't, you got to be on the same ballpark here. Um,
Yeah, well, that goes back to where do you see the US here, what we're entering? Do you see a deflationary cycle here, or do you see stability, or do you see the continued inflationary cycle here?
uh, it still appears to be more of a like stagflation into 28, um, because also when you go into war, you normally get shortages.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we're still dealing with to a large extent with COVID. Um, I mean, I had emails from farmers that, okay, we're locked down, so you couldn't get a truck to deliver food for your chickens. You couldn't send your chickens to market. So I got emails from farmers that had to kill like 30,000 chickens.
Gosh.
And then you have politicians. Oh, these greedy farmers, they want more for their eggs. you know, um,
Right.
it's just absurd. But so the COVID did a lot of damage. And look, you know, I can tell you that Klaus Schwab. I mean, I've met him 3 months before COVID even happened.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling friends, I believe, uh, a virus is coming.
So his
You
plan.
know, what the real objective of it was climate change. Step back and look at what they did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The whole nonsense of 15-minute cities, it was to prevent people from commuting,
Mm-hmm.
to force them to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Zoom meetings took up, all this. And what do we have? We have a problem with commercial real estate today.
Yeah.
People didn't go
Huge.
back to offices, things of this nature. Europe was even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you wiped out so many small businesses in Germany. Then, on top of that, they put in the climate change regs. Uh, and I mean, I was in Berlin. I had a meeting in the morning and I had a meeting in the afternoon in Rome. Two major cities. There was no direct flights.
Right.
First time I had to hire a private jet to make the next meeting.
Gosh.
And I was like, huh? You got to be kidding me. The only direct flight was like 6:30 in the morning, and that was it. One.
Wow.
Oh, for climate change, we have to stop all these people flying around.
Right.
Very nice. Okay. People are using private jets more now than they did before because of this.
Yeah.
And so then they put the sanctions on Russia. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You saw tens of thousands of workers protesting Volkswagen, because then they told the auto, okay, you have to, produce electric cars. These decisions are coming from some back room with people with zero experience in anything.
Right.
They couldn't even be a dog catcher.
Yeah.
And so you look at Germany, the economy has actually shrunk,
Yeah.
at least by 3%, maybe up to 5%. And by shrinking, what I mean is that small businesses were put out of operation. So
Mm-hmm.
the number of possible jobs has declined. All right. So
Right.
you're talking, so the COVID, then the climate change, and then the sanctions on Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so all of this has combined into an economic decline for Europe worse than the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They appear more likely to go into a depression. Um, and we're more prone to be more into a stagflation. Um, we didn't get as bad as Europe did. Um, I'm here in Florida, and you still see people with signs up, "Thank you, DeSantis. We weren't locked down. Small businesses didn't go out of business. Whatever." Um, go up to Fifth Avenue in New York City, and a lot of the places are gone.
Yeah.
Um, so it's that's been an issue as well. So the United States is not as in dire straits as you're seeing in Europe.
Which it's
I
really
mean,
bleak in Europe.
it's terrible. And then you have this nonsense. I mean, I was on the phone with people from Romania, and they were told by the EU to accept another 100,000 immigrants. Why? They think they can actually draft these people to send, put them a gun and go kill some Russians.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing this on a global scale, that where we're this is really the left versus the right. And it's not just with the assassination here, but this is Brazil going after Bolsonaro, and 27 years in jail. They did this to Le Pen in France. They're doing it to in Romania as well. They're using the law, and they tried to do it with Trump. All right, they're trying to use the law to eradicate their opposition.
Right.
Is really what's going on. AfD in Germany is now the second largest economy or political party. And in politicians, look, I've been doing this longer than you asked me in high school, would you ever want to be doing something like this? I would have thought you were crazy. But for 50 years, I've been dealing with governments here.